Hello everybody, Mark Abbott from your Engineering Change Lab Secretariat here. It's now been 14 months since we launched the lab back in January of 2015. We're now headed into April of 2016. And I think it's a great time for us to sort of reflect and think about sort of where we're at and next evolutions of the lab. Part of my role in your secretariat is to synthesize what I'm hearing from within the lab and beyond, and to reflect back to the group that thinking so that we can continue to build and deepen our work together. So I'm trying out something new here with this video approach as a way of providing these updates between our workshops so that we can kind of accelerate our pace of sharing and building together. This is the first of 4 videos, so I've broken it into pieces that are kind of each a dedicated chunk. I won't caveat throughout the workshop that this is just my synthesis and an offering and not proposed as a statement of fact. I won't continually caveat that, but know that that's the spirit of all of this being shared, is that it's something for us to engage with and continue to building from. So if you recall, our initial invitation back when we launched the Engineering Change Lab was around unlocking the higher potential of the engineering profession in Canada. We kept it intentionally broad because we wanted it to figure out what that higher potential was and how to unlock it together from a blank page and not be sort of biased right off the beginning. And in doing our work together, our approach has involved sort of 4 main kind of outcomes that we progressed both in our workshops and beyond. We have our work deepening a shared understanding of what the higher potential is and how to unlock it. And you'll probably recognize most of this from day 1 of our 2-day workshops is often focused on this work, and we're looking at sort of thinking of the profession as subsystems, or what value does the profession provide, and really leveraging all the diverse perspectives in the room to build a shared understanding. Then we have the relationships that we're building, which again are knitting together people from different parts of the system who often don't get a chance to talk together. And we're seeing lots of evidence outside of the workshops of those relationships continuing on and bearing fruit beyond the walls of the lab. And in new ways of working together, we're introducing things like lean and rapid prototyping and iceberg models. And again, lots of evidence of this benefiting not just the lab, but people taking them back to their workplaces too. And then for our initiatives, these are the experiments of the lab, whether it's on leadership or diversity or curriculum change. And the initiative teams have been making good progress in learning things about how they want to shape their initiatives, and the lab itself's been learning how to support those initiatives in better and better ways. So this is the end of the first video, which has been just an intro and overview. In our second video, I'm going to offer a sort of a next synthesis on our bigger thinking of the higher potential and how to unlock it. In the third video, I'm going to offer some thoughts on next evolutions of our approach and how to deepen our work in these 4 outcome areas. And then in the fourth and last video, talk about implications for you, the initiative team, and the lab as a whole. All right, so just before we dive in, I just want to take one more minute to tie things back to where we all began. This idea of unlocking the higher potential of the profession. And as I said, we began intentionally with a blank page so that we could begin our exploration collaboratively together. But of course, we all came into and were compelled to join the lab because there were specific issues or opportunities that we were seeing that we were passionate about within the profession. Whether it was around lack of diversity or Canada's innovation performance or recurring ethical issues, there was something that kind of compelled us to action, compelled us to come to the lab in the first place. And so in the lab, we've been introduced to this concept of the iceberg model, where we look at the events and the patterns, the visible events, the patterns that underlie them, the underlying structures, and the mental models beneath that. So a lot of our work together in the lab has been, with our deep and shared understanding, is about lowering this collective waterline. And then of course we have our portfolio of initiatives that are seeking to make progress on these specific issues, to learn and actually start to address them. So now, a little bit over a year in, what's really exciting me and why I'm excited about what you're going to see in the next couple of videos is because I think our collective waterline is now lowering to the point that we're starting to see how these issues and subdomains and our work in each of the initiatives actually links together in the frame of the overall profession and where the overall profession needs to go. So I'm excited, and hopefully you will be too, so please enjoy the next 3 videos.